Hi, Chris.
Hi, Andy. How you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. You?
Yeah, very well, thanks.
Good.
Good to see you.
And you?
How are things? You're a busy man, no doubt.
Yeah. Better put my seatbelt on.
Yeah. We'll better head.
Right.
I've got a bit of August sunshine today, which has been quite rare.
It's lovely, isn't it? It's warm out there.
It's terrific, isn't it? Now, right.
It is a bit like car share, isn't it? But you and I probably won't be as funny. Yeah. So
now, left, right, or straight on?
I'd go straight on.
Let's go straight
and then go
on.
left through Kennington.
Excellent. Let's do
Yeah.
that. Let's do that.
Simple enough.
How do you face up to the challenge after losing a general election of which direction the party has to go in? How do you get that balance right?
Well, it is difficult, isn't it? The whole process is very difficult because, people are exhausted after the general election. Emotions are running high. Everyone was devastated, obviously. It's not for me a case of saying, do you go left, do you go right? It's do you go back to a place when you're more in touch with the public? That's the issue, isn't it?
What's taken you by surprise in this campaign?
Well, in some ways, this campaign has brought out what I thought the last one would do in the way that I stood last time. I was talking then about a kind of feeling that modern politics wasn't what people wanted. There was I was articulating a sense that it would become too
Sort of detached.
Yeah, Westminster centric and lost people, and the party is crying out for a big change.
It's almost sort of 5 years too late then.
In the way it does its politics. Possibly, but I think people were quite numb maybe after the last time. We're just out of government, and I think people were still not quite ready to have that kind of real, deep, soul-searching type debate. Whereas this time, that has definitely happened.
And you're having another crack at the leadership.
Yeah, last time I won't be doing it again. For me, this is it's now or never.
Right,
really,
right. What do you say to those critics who say you've flip-flopped on how you've responded to Jeremy Corbyn? On the one hand saying, he could be dangerous to the party, on the other hand saying he's got to be part of the future.
I just don't accept that at all. I've said let's respond positively because obviously there is something happening. There's energy in Jeremy's campaign. You've got to understand why are people being drawn to what he's saying. And it's this feeling, I think, of modern politics, and particularly the way the Labour's done its politics in recent times, has left people pretty cold, really. And there's a kind of real disillusionment out there in terms of the way things have been done. Yeah, I think you don't again.
I think he's kind of half looking for a parking spot. There he's going. He's going
right,
in there.
It's sorted.
Yeah,
but then equally, you've got to. I've praised the energy he's brought while pointed out differences I have, and pretty big ones on Europe, on the economy, on public services. So that's what should happen. You should try and keep it positive, and that's what I've tried to do throughout this campaign.
What are you most proud of in terms of what you've achieved in politics?
The thing that means most on a personal level is the work on Hillsborough. Because obviously, I was born there. I grew up in the Warrington area, but I was 19 at the time when it happened.
Right.
And it had a massive effect because most of my friends growing up were Liverpool supporters, and a lot of them were at the game that day. In terms of my political life, it had a massive impact on me.
In terms of that sense of injustice?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, completely. And one of the things that politicised me. So then, going forward, when Labour came into government on all that wave of optimism, we had a commitment to reopen it, and it wasn't until I was Culture Secretary at that moment that I could do something about it. So, just on a personal level, nothing will ever mean more to me. And
if you become Labour leader and potentially Prime Minister, that season ticket will still be turning up every time Everton are at home.
Oh God, some things can't change. Yeah,
that's the bottom line, is it?
Yeah,
it's non-negotiable.
But isn't that a good thing? I think if you look at this as though I've got to stop doing all the things I did in my past. Well, no wonder politicians get out of touch then. So no, I'll be going the match, and I'll be getting no shortage of advice, no doubt, as I do anyway. But no, it's just something I've done all my life, and why would I stop that?
Tell me, going back to this campaign and this summer, what do you make of it when it gets personal? There's questions that are asked about whether you use mascara, all that kind of stuff. Is that a valid place?
Can I prove it on here now? And show there's no marks on my fingers there. What we're doing here, all of us, is we're putting ourselves forward for 360-degree scrutiny, and it's hard. I've walked over this line once before, and it's something you've got to do with real care, and because you are going to get every aspect of your life looked at. And I guess maybe rightly so, by the way. And I'm not necessarily complaining about that.
What do you say to those barbs that came your way about you being Ed Miliband with a northern accent?
Well, I mean, I've got huge respect for Ed, but I'm a very different person, a very different politician. I mean, if you also look at the manifesto I put forward, it's bigger than anything the Labour Party's been doing in recent years, and much bigger than our 2015 manifesto. In many ways, the experience for me of trying to reform social care twice now, once before 2010 and another time before 2015, brings me into this race, because there is no way that the modern Labour Party could have created the NHS. No way. Because I believe it's lost the ability to think big.
Really? That's quite an accusation.
Yeah, it's the way politics has gone. They call it retail politics. It's like supermarket loyalty card politics, where you kind of splinter the population into all these little groups, and you develop little gimmicky policies for each of them, and it just doesn't work. And on the doorstep, you just have people saying, "There's no point. You're all the same." No wonder, because the public feel that politics isn't offering big answers and big choices anymore.
And I guess, all of this boils down to, as we get back to Westminster, potentially being Prime Minister.
Yep.
I guess you're up for that. I guess that's what it has to boil down to.
Yes, I am. Why am I up for it? Because here we are in 2015, and for all the social progress we've made in those 70 years since the post-war Labour government, we still live in a country where the postcode of the bed you're born in pretty much determines where you end up in life. Things I believe in very deeply and passionately, and I'm doing this to try and change the country. Did you pass your test first time?
I did.
I could tell.
Good stuff.
Thank
Cheers,
you very
Andy.
much. Okay,
Thanks
Chris.
a lot. Cheers. Thanks for your time.
And yours.
Cheers.